We're smoking cheeseburgers. Let's check it out. All right.
That was it.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
We're smoking burgers today. We've seen a lot of you doing this in our community, and we even actually had one request in the Facebook group just this week. So we figured we'd dive in and smoke some burgers. All right, so let's look at what we got. I went to a local butcher and got some really quality stuff. And so here's what I'm thinking. After talking to them, I got a couple of different cuts of meat that I'm gonna use to grind for the burger. We're gonna use some round steak, which is lean, very beefy, and a good kind of meat to mix into a blend. I'm gonna do a blend. And then the classic chuck roast. So we're gonna do a chuck roast and round steak burger. I'm gonna fry up some bacon, and then I've got some smoked cheddar that we're gonna throw into the mix just to really amp up the smoke flavor. And I got a couple different options on fixins, so I'm gonna kind of wing that as we get close to the end and see what I think feels right. Let's get started. Like I said, we're gonna grind this up ourselves. Everything needs to be cold. When you grind stuff yourself, you want everything to be cold. Stay away from that temperature danger zone on ground beef or ground meat of any sort. All right, let's start with this chuck roast. I'm going for an 80-20 blend, kind of that level of fat content. And this chuck roast, I mean, that's a great base for ground beef. So you got good marbling in here, plenty of fat. So we're gonna start with cubing this up about 1-inch cubes or so. You know, it's not super precise. I just want to make it a little easier for the meat grinder, which we're going to use our mixer as a meat grinder. I know a lot of you have mixers, and these attachments are pretty handy. So, and I'm not gonna get rid of anything. I'm going to use every bit of this. And so what I'm going to do is throw it on a tray. I'm going to put this in the freezer, like I said, for about 30 minutes, just to keep everything nice and cold. I think it'll grind better because, you know, the meat grinder gets hot. There's a lot of friction and stuff going on in there. Okay. Now our round steak. So I talked to the butcher a little bit, asking for good blends. I was gonna do short rib and chuck roast, but that was gonna be too rich. Both are really fatty. So he recommended that I do some round steak. So this is obviously, when you compare that to what we just saw, this is very lean. So there's not a lot of marbling here. So this should have a really good beefy flavor, good texture when it's mixed in with kind of a fattier cut of beef. I don't know, I'm gonna try it and adapt and adjust kind of guy. Like I mentioned, we're gonna put this into the freezer for about 30 minutes because we want everything to be nice and cold. All right, while the meat is chilling, let's start prepping some of the sides that are gonna go on at the end, or the toppings. So I'm just gonna shred this lettuce. Personally, for burgers, I like that kind of thinly shredded, like deli lettuce. So that's what I'm gonna shoot for. I'm just gonna go straight down. Now red onion. I don't know. I think I'm going to use it. I'm going to go ahead and prep it. I feel like you got to have an onion on a burger, personally. All right, tomato. I'm trying to do some really good and thin slices here. All right, veggies are prepped. Stick them in the fridge. I do have all of my grinding components in the freezer now. So you want, like I said, you want all these things to be really cold. So it's all metal. You want that to be good and cold. And then I'm gonna actually have a bowl with some ice, and we're gonna just keep everything nice and cold during this grinding process. All right. We're gonna open up the power port on our profile mixer. I'll go ahead and screw that down to keep it in place. Okay, I'll start it up. And I'm gonna go with level about 3. That feels right. Yeah, hold it the right way. I'm just gonna start feeding cubes. And I'm gonna mix it all together. So I'm gonna do a little of each side as I'm going. Again, I'm trying to work pretty quick. I don't want it to get too hot. I don't want to give it time to get hot and start like cooking the burger or something. That would be not ideal. All right, so to help with texture, I'm gonna just kind of blend it up here. I'm gonna give it another pass through the grinder. And actually what I'll do is transfer it over to my cold tray here. It's kind of a messy business, that's all right. That's what makes it fun. All right, that is beautiful. Check out that ground beef. Next up, we gotta form these into some patties and get them in the smoker, but before that, we gotta start the smoker, so let's go do that. Here's my strategy. I'm gonna do a customized cycle. I'm gonna take these to 125 internal. Smoker temp, I'm gonna make that 260, Let's do 225, smoke level 5. You can adjust that. If you want to let them spend a little more time in the smoke, that's fine. If you want them to get out a little faster, that's fine too. But I think this is gonna work for me. So let's start this up. Water, y'all know the drill. Water's added. Pellets. I'm just going with the standard blend that came with your smoker. All right, so let's top it off. That's perfect. All right, so we got our water. We just added our pellets. Let's get it rolling. So my plan here is to do 2 large burgers on 2 racks. So I'm gonna do 4 burgers. I got enough meat here to do like 20. But so here's what I wanna do. I wanna get a nice, good sized patty, but I don't wanna overwork it. Doing just enough to get it to stick together. Burgers always tend to like puff up, swell up, so I'm gonna put a little dimple in the top here. And I'm gonna go ahead and put them straight up, straight onto the rack like this. I'll just put them on this tray. So that's a monster right there. That looks awesome. All right, how much do these weigh? I don't know, probably like 1.5 pounds each, to be honest with you. These are gonna be killer. I don't know, hopefully they'll stay together. If they don't, we'll have crumbled smoked burgers. I think they will. All right, important step. I forgot to season them, and this is just salt, pepper, and I think I threw a little bit of garlic powder in there for my special blend. See a link below if you want to buy some. All right, no, pretty simple stuff. But here's what I have heard and the way I cook burgers. I don't actually mix seasoning in. I mean, you might be able to get some good results with that, but my understanding is I don't want to like brine this with salt, so that will kind of pull moisture out and you'll end up with some dry burgers. So I'm going to season them right before they go on with just this Rick's Special blend. Mostly gently. Put them off. In case I lost any. So I'm going to probe it. And this is just to get me a kind of a general understanding. My goal is to get them to about 125, and then I'm gonna sear them in a cast iron at the end, just to put a crust on them. All right, smoker's preheated. Let's get these burgers in, plug the probe in, get to cooking. All right, so I'm gonna go top. Rack number 2. I'm gonna scoot these towards the front, just a pinch. And those look good. Let's smoke. People are going to start coming now. They're going to smell this bacon. They're going to be in here. We're going to have to fight to keep it. There's not many better smells. This bacon's got me thinking. I've always wanted to actually cure and smoke my own bacon. So let us know if you all think that would be an interesting thing to try out. I know a lot of you have done it. I've never done it. And I would love to smoke some cured bacon in the indoor smoker. Let us know. I don't know, big debate. Crispy or like tender bacon? I'm a crispy bacon guy. Okay, everybody, so the smoker actually finished up while I was working. We hit our target temp. Actually, we got to about 140, which is totally fine. Took about an hour and 15 minutes at 225. If you want to get a little more smoke flavor, you could definitely go lower cavity temp for longer, but I think this is going to be sufficient for my needs. I'm going to now get these out. We're going to take them into the kitchen and sear them, just to put a nice crispy crust on them. All right, we're going for 2 minutes. I'm gonna flip them and I'm gonna probe them until I get them to about 158. Oh yeah. All right, that one's about done. Let me go ahead and put a couple slices of cheese on. Throw the lid on. All right, I'm just gonna go till the cheese melts. Probably another minute. I've got sesame seed brioche buns. All right, so I think I'm gonna do this from the bottom up. This barbecue sauce from our local place, it's a let's see, bacon bourbon barbecue sauce. Sounds like a perfect blend here for what we're dealing with. I'm gonna start with some barbecue sauce on that bun. All right, then I'm gonna take some lettuce. And throw my onions. A few onions on there. Tomato. All right, so now we're gonna take this massive monster here. That thing is huge. All right, so now I'm gonna stack some bacon. But we got these are kind of like bread and butter pickles. It's got a little horseradish in there. I don't know, they're delicious. Grab a couple of pickles out here. I'm gonna throw a little more barbecue sauce on the top. And now we awesome. All right, and I gotta cut this. I cannot.
Oh, you can't? Come on, take a big bite.
All right, fine. We're gonna give it a shot. This looks so good. All right, don't judge me. Oh, I love my job. It's so good. Look at that. Oh man, I'm not kidding you, dude. We should open a food truck. I got to talk with my mouth full. That is probably the best burger I've ever had. I kid you not. Oh my goodness. You got to try it, y'all. You got to try it. Jump in. Post your results, but like, it's got a subtle, you know, exactly what I wanted. It's got a subtle smoky flavor. It's got a crispy kind of crust on the burger. The barbecue sauce, the bacon, that smoked cheese, it's all on point. I mean, this is, and it's messy, and that is so perfect. I don't even know what else to say. I guess this speaks for itself. Let us know what you want to see next, and we'll jump on it. See you next time. Oh, man. Hey! Come try this! Ah!